Lovely to see you. I love that every Wednesday is always a treat. You never know who's going to show up and drop in. It makes every week kind of exciting. Thank you for joining us on this fall day. It is very good to have you in the room. We have two presenters today, and I'm very excited about that, and I think you're going to really enjoy that. One of the presenters, Steve Rice, we met last year when I first started the hub work, and talked a lot and dreamed a lot and thought about ways that we could both contribute to the ecosystem. And so I wanted to share, Steve, it's okay, something we talked about was the building of relationships versus, networking, but truly connecting. And so for me, some of you, it's been a lovely journey that I've spent over a year being connected with you, learning about you, building those relationships. And I feel very honored, and I'm sure Trevor feels the same way, and where's Claudia, that we get to be on the journey with you. It's such an honor. And I know, Lisa, you do this work. It's so satisfying. I don't know another word for it. Super satisfying. So thank you all for helping us connect and build relationships and build just a really nice, thriving ecosystem that supports us all. All right, Steve. Steve built something cool, built to sell, and it's a really neat platform, but I don't want to ruin it. I'm just going to let you take it. Here you go. Oh, yeah, you don't need it. Okay, here we go. Bye.
Checkity check. Thank you. I had a joke originally in here, like, because I'm usually in southern or the south end of the valley, and most people know me, but they haven't the foggiest idea what the hell I do. But I had to take that out because only 2 people here know me. And so, what happened to my? That's much better. Okay, so Kim said I should tell the whole story. So I was born in 1969, and no. My name is Steve Rice. I am the founder of Built to Buy, and I've been working on all sides of the purchasing and selling process in wholesale and in retail with manufacturers, distributors, and retailers across North America and into Europe, including one of the oldest food production families in the US. 1858, they started making pretzels. I even owned the Ashton Outdoor Store for years. If any of you know me, that's probably from that. In the last 35 years, I've helped facilitate over $2 billion in sales. Leveraging this experience, I have built the best available wholesale ordering website for manufacturers and distributors. We've named it Built to Buy. It's a low-cost, high-value monthly subscription website service. And yes, it's like Shopify or BigCommerce or Faire, and I say that with a sigh, because they are not like us. They're not even close. Our competitors do not support these 4 essential sales roles that every manufacturer requires. We do, and we are the only web developer and software service that does. We've done our research. Our competitors build websites, we build businesses. They deliver a retail experience to wholesale businesses. We deliver easy sales role ordering that saves thousands in order entry costs, increases average order value and frequency, and puts money back into businesses every day, every month, and every year. One large Southern Oregon industrial manufacturer onboarded all of their problematic dealers in 6 months, saving over $120,000 a year in phone calls and data entry. Another consumer goods wholesaler saved $200,000 a year by adopting our phone sales module, reducing phone order entry time by an astounding 75%. It went from 12 minutes to 3 minutes. A few days ago, we actually did a demo with our savings calculator with a manufacturer who does about $900,000 a year in annual sales and showed that they'll save $80,000 a year while also building brand loyalty by saving their dealers 85 hours of order entry time every year. Because Built to Buy has been proven to reduce or eliminate all of these sales and order-related problems, problems, period. This isn't software. For us, it's economic development. With Built to Buy, manufacturers and distributors immediately gain access to tools that they do not have the resources to develop, fueling their own growth and resilience. So ask us about our limited time offer grant program, and we're ready for questions.
Good morning.
Sure. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Is that okay?
Steve, I wanted to add something. Sometimes at the 1MC, we also like to support those that are, and we've seen that sometimes in here, that are entrepreneur support organizations, because we're always looking to build that ecosystem. So with Steve being an entrepreneur for a really long time, he didn't take the literal tell your story from me, but really what Steve offers is something for our entrepreneurs, a new way to get your products out there and sell on a platform. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, thank you. For those of us not in the retail and wholesaling space, can you just walk through an example, maybe from the outdoor store, working with some supplier, so that we kind of understand what your software is actually doing?
Sure.
Thank you.
So to be clear, we're selling this to manufacturers so that they can sell to retailers or dealers or distributors across the U.S. My experience comes in because I have been both working with manufacturers who are trying to sell to those people, and I've actually been a buyer. I was a buyer for Adventure 16 and not REI, but the Ashland Outdoor Store. And I know what it's like to go to a trade show and then come back and try and place orders. And it's really frustrating. My job is not to spend time on these bleeping platforms that don't service me. My job is to get back on the sales floor and sell a really nice pair of 180 centimeter skis with great side cut, right? So with all of my experience as a retailer, having to buy through those systems, I knew from experience how horrible that experience was. And as a web developer, which I've been doing, sorry, keep the mic here, since '99, I knew how hard it was to actually build something that would do what we needed it to do, and the systems that are available just literally don't do it. That piece about, there's a lot, you probably all know people who have wholesale websites running on Shopify, and they are great for selling to that person, but they do not help the sales rep, they don't help the sales team, they don't help the in-house sales reps, and they don't really help the dealers. So I can give you a personal experience. Working with Liberty Mountain Company is the largest wholesaler or distributor of outdoor products in the United States. If you own an outdoor store, regardless of the type, you buy all the little doodads from them. That is run by a guy I've known for 30 years because we were all dirtbag climbers back in the 90s. And I was on their website 6 years ago, and I needed to place a $25,000 order, which is something we would do every week. And it was so frustrating. I bailed out, and I went to Peregrine Outfitters in Vermont, and I placed a $25,000 order, and I did it in like 7 minutes. And then I called up my buddy, and I said, I just want you to know, this is what I did. You have to fix this. And that's what actually happens every time you have a business. When somebody has a problem, they're going to go somewhere else. Did that answer your question?
All right, I have a question. So does this also, in the background, because normally if you're doing something like this, you have your website, you have your order platform, then you have like your CRM that tracks all your sales and your phone teams in and all that kind of stuff. So does this marry all of that together in essence?
So it can connect to all of those things. It is fully API ready. There's nothing it can't connect to. We intentionally are stripping all of that extra, I'm going to call it crap, out.
Yeah.
What our competitors do is they're like, oh, we're really good, like QuickBooks. We're really good at doing bookkeeping stuff. And oh, by the way, you can buy our website system. They don't know how to do it.
Right.
And it's horrible. And all the ERP companies that do it, all the ERP companies do the same thing.
Right.
Suite Commerce, not very good.
Yeah, or WooCommerce, you get the plug-in and it's clunky as all get out, especially if you're trying to do the back end. And then you also then have to have something that tracks your sales team and what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So there's some great platforms out there that do that. So to be able to integrate all of that into one is amazing.
Well, and we're both integrating a lot of stuff like you're talking about, and there's a lot of stuff we're not integrating. Like I can connect to QuickBooks. I can connect to Cloud Suite. Industrial, I can connect to Sage 100, 200, 400, 600, all of those things, NetSuite. What I do not do bookkeeping. We are not an ERP. We are not a CRM.
Yeah.
And there's in the 30 years I've been working with manufacturers, I have not once done an integration with any business that was the same. Everybody treats their products different.
Yeah.
They count them different. Some don't want them counted on the website. Some do. So we can do any of that.
Wow.
And I've done integrations that cost $180, and I've done integrations that cost $280,000.
Right.
With this tool, most of the people are going to spend very little, if not for free, especially if they're small and they have, this is a technical term, if they have their shit together, I'll load them up for free.
Love that. Love
So.
that. Okay.
Who's in charge of the arrow? Is it me? Yeah, there's the microphone.
Hi.
You have the pillow.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand a little bit more the distinction between what you offer versus, say, WooCommerce or Shopify. If it's still open API and you have to integrate it into a CRM and, other types of software, what is your software doing differently than Shopify or WooCommerce that makes it easier on the company?
Cool. That's a good question. First of all, you don't have to connect it to those. And the reason I say that is there's a lot of manufacturers that are like $1 million who aren't actually connecting those things. It's weird. I come across them all the time, and I try to get them to connect. 70% of manufacturers in the United States are 10 years behind the technology curve. And that's one of the reasons why this market is so ripe. What makes us different is every plugin that you can add on, whether it's to WooCommerce, which is called Wholesale Suite, or Shopify's wholesale plugin, BigCommerce has one. They all still give you a retail experience to your dealers, but they add on your ability to say, oh, well, you're net 30, or you have to pay with a credit card because you're new, you're net 60, or you have 16 stores and you've negotiated a 10% discount in different terms. It allows you to do that.
So this is an e-commerce platform for businesses.
Correct. But you can make an e-commerce website on all those competitors. What you won't get is a sales rep user where the sales rep can come in and place an order in under a minute. You won't get a phone sales view where the phone salesperson can take a phone call and place a massive order in under 3 minutes or a small order in under a minute. They literally don't exist. And I can tell you because I've actually built them. In order to actually do this in Shopify, you have to pay their $2,350 a month Shopify Plus fee, and you have to have someone like me who understands the architecture of what's needed, and then I have to actually custom build modules outside of Shopify or BigCommerce and connect them to their backend via APIs. It's insane. Like I totally can do it. I've done it. It's $250,000. And so what happens is these manufacturers go out and someone says, I do Shopify. There's a wholesale thing. I can build your wholesale website. They get a wholesale website. It's really a retail experience with some extra discounts. Doesn't service sales reps, in-house or outside of the house. Doesn't service the phone sales team is really important. That story I told is true. There were 7 women in a phone sales team who basically the head of the phone sales team looked over at the wholesale department that we were working with, and they were taking both wholesale and retail phone calls. And the wholesale phone calls they'd hand off to, call them B in the back, right? $50,000, $75,000 wholesale orders versus $300 retail orders. She handed one off and then took another phone call. And while she was on the phone call, she saw B go, lean back. She went over, she's like, what the hell? How big was that order? It's like, that was like $50,000. And how did you do it so fast? Oh, well, I'm using .com Jungle, which is the main company. I'm using their little phone sales module. She switched her team without consulting the CEO to the phone sales module the next day on a practice run, and that's where that phone sales time, 75% reduction in order entry time, and they were literally measuring it because they had to. And then they went to the CEO and they said, by the way, we're using something else for order entry. So.
I'm gonna, just quick question. So let's say primarily business to business. I already have my website. I want to be able to allow people to come in and order on my website, business to business. I'm small. I will put our own example. We're a small cheesecake company. We want everybody to come in and be able to order directly for the restaurants that do have it, the Rogue Produce, things like that.
Yep.
We want to create a login. Can you give us kind of an idea of what that process looks like and what that changes things for us? Kind of give us how that works.
Yes, it's a great question, because I think the number one problem that manufacturers have is that they try to make one website service wholesale and retail, and it's very difficult to do that from a marketing standpoint and also from a technology standpoint. Like I can do it. I've done it for people, and I've said these are the problems you're gonna have, right? And at that point, technologically, it can do all that stuff. Right. But a manufacturer, like the people who buy your cheesecake, they already know your cheesecake. Mm-hmm. It's not like you might roll out with a new pumpkin Basque cheesecake for Christmas or something, right. But it's not like you're coming out with 17 knives a month and the sales rep has to explain the SKUs and they get a new spreadsheet. Right. They don't need marketing. They need branding just to make sure they're not ordering accidentally from the wrong place, but they don't need all that crap. They need fast ordering. They need to log in. They need a button that says, duplicate that order. And, you know, in the case of someone like Joey's Hot Sauce, Joey's a friend of mine. He's also a drummer in my band, so if you need a punk rock band.
Who knew that?
Trevor needs some punk in here sometime. But,
when do we sign that one up? Let's go.
We even, my son is the guitarist, so we have some youth so that our insurance premiums.
Can everybody be here
by noon? Let's see. That was a tangent. Where were we?
Yeah. Joey's.
So the answer to the question is you would have a separate website at dealer.yourcheesecake.com. It'd be a subdomain. Yeah. We'd pop your logo, match your colors. You would probably say, I want to customize the ordering page, do this, this, and this. And I would say, no. Because we have 3 ordering types of pages. They're all very fast. Different types of people like different ones. Mm-hmm. And I've never had anybody actually come back and fight me about that and say, well, we really have to have all this stuff. Like I said, the people, they want to log in, place the order, they know what they want. You know, for example, when I was a buyer, you know, a company like North Face, they might have 1,000 SKUs and they might have 5,000 child SKUs, maybe more. And when I was a buyer, I could tell you what the color code was for cobalt blue. I could tell you the code number for the Mountain Light jacket. I can still tell you that 909 is the color for green for Royal Robins in 1989, right? They don't need product descriptions. They need you to get out of the way, right? That's what this does. It strips everything down and just fast.
I love that.
So what size businesses is your platform ideally suited for? Because a lot of these examples you're describing are sort of like bigger businesses and stuff.
Yes.
Can smaller companies that are manufacturing something or selling products online use this?
Absolutely. I can't see this from here. We're just Trevor, you need to upgrade to the latest Wi-Fi, you know. So the answer is any company, any person, well, all these companies, first of all, you saw that stack that I call the sales role stack. Whether you're Patagonia or you're Pat who's selling begonias for the local market, you have all of those. You have a sales rep, you have an inside salesperson who's taking phone calls, you have outside sales reps, you have the phone sales team, you have a sales manager. It's just that you're that. Pat does all of those roles. So the answer is anybody who's spending time entering an order by hand that someone else could have and should have entered elsewhere is actually one of our customers. The question is, you know, $500 a month is the fee for our base module. And I have manufacturers go, that's really expensive. And then I go look at the sales calculator. And I'm going to redo this so it looks not so daunting, because right now I'm the only one who understands it. But essentially, I always maintain as a consultant for years, if you're an owner, you should value your time at $200 an hour. Because if you don't, you're going to be making decisions as if you're an employee, and you're not owning a business to give yourself a job. You could go to the bakery and get a job right away, right? So that's not why you're there. You're there to be the owner of a great company and have other people work for you and build a great business that you're proud of and hand off to your kids. That said, the other day I was talking to a company like that 900,000, but I've done this with companies that are like 250,000. So we're not talking about major manufacturers. They're probably bigger than many of the small companies that are starting food production and whatnot. But at $250,000, even if you have, let's say your average order is $500, so you've got 1,000 orders. Did I do the math? 1,000 orders have to be put in. So if you have customers who are out there sending you an email, they're typing in their order and they're sending it to you, and then you're entering it. I can already tell you from experience, it's going to take you about 10 minutes to answer that email, type it into QuickBooks, and then you're going to print it out, and you're going to walk over to your UPS machine or ShipStation, and you're going to type it in again. You've now spent 20 minutes doing something that didn't need to be done, and you're going to do that 1,000 times a year. So we're talking about, what was that, 200,000 minutes divided by 60 is a lot of hours. Even if you paid yourself $10 an hour, I don't know if anybody wants to grab a calculator and do that, it's way more than $500 a month. You have to have systems like this to grow your business. You have to be able to go to a trade show, say it's a food show down in San Francisco, and find 6 or 12 retailers who want to sell your stuff and say, I will add you right now. You can place an order now. You can sign this agreement right now that says you're net 30. What's your email address?
It's huge. I can say that we've dealt with people that are like, oh, so I have to email you to get your stuff, and then we do this, and then life goes on and nothing happens. You give somebody a login and a password, and they can do it at midnight tomorrow night when they're thinking about it.
Yep.
It changes the sales.
Yep.
Well, last question, what can we do to help you?
Well,
As a community key?
Steve.
Yes, Trevor.
How can this community help you? Wow. Not, what can we do to help you? I love you, Claudia.
Okay, well, so I've been around for years, right? Been doing this 25, 30 years. This software is not new. I built this for multi-million-dollar companies. As a SaaS, it is new. So I'm looking for businesses who are going to use it. We've established a grant program. We're going to take the first 6.
That's 5.
5 plus 1. If you guys weren't here, I would have done 6 for Kim. Because we're all, she missed it. So we're going to install this for free for 6 months for 6 people, 6 businesses. And my only requirement is you have to use it. I'm not here to waste your time or mine time. I'm here to show you that it works. I already know it works. Mm-hmm. So as a software as a service, it's only existed for a couple months. So we're looking for 6 people who will use it, and we'll give it to you for free. We're also looking for a lot of people to pay for it because it has value. I'm also in an investment process. John Williams is one of my advisors. He's been awesome. We're looking for $500,000 in the next year. This product's already built, so if you know people who have money who want to actually help the community, that'd be great. And then there's the punk band.
I love that.
As a separate side note, I am on the board of the Oregon Outdoor Alliance, which is a statewide organization who's committed to connecting outdoor-related businesses and helping them do their business. And we actually have a meeting at the Medford Co-work space on November 13th. We're going to have one here. I've already talked to Trevor at some point. If you know people who are in the outdoor industry, whether they make things or they're in the service economy, as a total aside to this, send them to me because we're here to help.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you. I've known Steve for a lot of years. And really an innovator in our valley. Somebody who has set a real high standard for Southern Oregon as far as just this tech sector goes. So if he built it, it comes with literally like 30 plus years of experience. Wow, it's actually getting to be more than that, isn't it, Steve? We don't want to say more than 30. We'll say 30 plus a decade. But anyways, so it really is, something that is, well, obviously, he was only able to scratch the surface here with us. But if you're in this world, I implore you, leverage this opportunity to work with Steve. He's an innovator in the industry. So thanks, Steve. Appreciate you. And what's the name of the band?
Lower.
Lore.
Lowor. It actually.
Lower.
Low Oregon. It's a little play on words.
Lower. I like it. Fantastic. All right, big hand for Steve. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. We're going to take 1 minute. We're changing over. We have a second presenter today, so while Shayna gets set up, refill your cup of coffee, slap a high five, tell the person next to you hello, and yes, see, high fives are happening already. And we'll be right back with you. Do not leave. Thank you. Awesome. Nice. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. That'll be great when I forget the entire English language. Thank you, Kim. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I love that actually. Yeah. Thanks, kid. Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, I think I feel pretty ready.
Yeah, because I don't know why it gets my heart just starts beating quicker, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, Shayna, you're gonna do great. I love the mission, and I love your story, and I feel like you have to celebrate female entrepreneurs. And at the 1MC, it's not for lack of trying, but there's more male entrepreneurs than and I know there's women out there that are doing things.
I know.
But your schedule's your lives.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, exactly.
And I remember being a female entrepreneur and by myself with my kids. It was
I
challenging.
think that's the factor is that being kind of traditionally the more default parent to do the pickups and the drop-offs
That's
and
what I
just
mean,
figure stuff
default
out.
parent.
And so then
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hive is live. Bring your vision. This is how we build. 1
All
million
right, we're
cup.
ready. Where's Nick? Oh, look at this. Shayna's bringing it. Woo! Claudia, you even got, oh, Nick, I like that. You got the, yeah, I like it. All right, we're getting ready for presenter number 2. I am going to be very excited to introduce you. This is again, how that ecosystem works, and with events, and Annie with DMA and Medford hosts a coffeepreneurs event, and Shayna's been there. And then Shayna and I have run into each other at other events, but that's how you get to know one another, is by attending things like 1MC, connecting, talking, sharing, because you really don't know when you're out in your community. You may have these gazillion conversations, or maybe you're networking, but you really don't know the pulse in our community, or where these entrepreneurs are. And I met someone who has a really unusual oddity shop, and he literally makes, because Steve asked me if he refurbishes, he makes the Zoltar machines. Like you don't want one of those big Tom Hanks. I so want one every day when I wake up. I can just go, tell me what my day is going to be like. And it's like, whoa, just a ticket. Yeah, I want one. I need one. They're only like 25, so I'm going to come up here and kind of crowdfund for that, Trevor, just so you know we can have one here at the, yeah. Yeah, I was going to, that was kind of rough. I might hit 17, but we could pick, LJ. We could just put it in. But I would have never met them had I not been out in the greater Applegate. And I roamed around and stopped, and it was a long journey, but I met so many interesting, neat people who are like all of us. They want to make a difference. They have an idea or a concept. And sometimes it's things that are very impactful in our world that can change things. And that's how I feel you are. An incredible entrepreneur, I would say, wonderful entrepreneurial spirit. And I am excited to have you present. So this is Shayna Christensen with Blueberry June, and I can't wait for her to share her journey with you. Please welcome her to the stage.
Oh, you don't need it. I keep wanting to give you the next. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. And thank you all for being here today. This is my first time presenting my business. I'm a year old in November, so just very exciting to celebrate these milestones. Yes, so I'm Shayna Christensen. I am the owner and founder of Blueberry June, which is a cloth diaper laundry service and a eco boutique. Our products and services support families, communities, and our planet with the foundation that we all thrive when we are in harmony with nature. We believe that by accessibly sharing information and resources, we can create a more sustainable future together. So I'm based in Medford. I serve Ashland through Grants Pass and White City. And growing up in rural Rancho San Diego, I'll give you a prize if you can point out Hamul on the map. I was always a caretaker and a natural leader in my rambunctious community of homeschool kids. We spent all day, every day, outside in nature, and it was instilled upon us to care for the earth and the animals. Our parents washed all of their plastic bags to reuse them, and then used the gray water from the washing machine to water the compost piles. And if we ever got a pack of bubble gum, we diligently peeled off the foil from the paper so that we could recycle both parts separately. I have a separate slideshow on recycling if you want to see that after as well. So I am a true Shay of all trades. My professional career has taken me on adventures in retail in California and Oregon, as a nanny in the US and abroad, as a birth doula, lactation peer counselor, and I've spent the previous 9 years in hospitality. As a single mom twice over, I have reinvented myself stronger, better, and brighter into the mother and entrepreneur that you see here today. And that's my family and my kiddos and my amazing husband, Jeremy, who's over here to support me. The goals that I have with Blueberry June are not only my guide, but they're non-negotiable. My family, my community, and our planet are on my mind in everything I do. What became so crystal clear in my last professional career was that working for a bigger picture was very important to me. And as I stepped into this role as a solopreneur, that drive to do good and to make an impact in this community is just the root and foundation of my intention. I really choose to leave something for the greater good for the future generations. Let's see. So since opening last year in November, we serve the community with our cloth diaper laundry service, where I loan, launder, and deliver cloth diapers to families that choose this option. I have some minimal retail products that support that business, and I teach free educational classes in person and online on how to cloth diaper in your home. So separate from the service, just educating families that one single diaper, that could eliminate 365 diapers from the landfills, right? So making that small change. All of that, and then engaging in the community, which has been a big treasure, making these connections. So some cloth diaper facts. One baby uses as many as 7,000 diapers from birth to potty training. Some kiddos stay in diapers up until age 5, even if that's just part-time. When we look at the toxic elements in diapers, we have to consider not only the waste that is created, but that chemical exposure, right? So that's ending up in landfills, also our water systems, and then that prolonged exposure for infants and children having that toxic chemical against their skin. Some of these chemicals are known to not only cause skin irritation, but hormone disruption and even respiratory issues. There are many great benefits to cloth diapers. In my mind, it's just, they're really easy. I can tell you that. I'll show you. Using cloth diapers is one of the most cost-effective ways because often it even leads to early potty training. We have made big strides in our first year of business, which I'm choosing to celebrate more frequently. Saving a combined total of roughly 5,590 diapers so far from the landfill with the help of my amazing clients. It has been completely humbling and heartwarming serving these families and being a resource during their early years with their new baby. There's so much newness and learning in the first year of parenting, and being a part of that story, even in a small way, just validating families and telling them that their questions are normal, any worries are normal, is just really the honey to my heart. And there's so much room to grow. So I have a wool diaper that's in prototype phase right now that will be the cover over the absorbent part of the diaper. So I'm exploring manufacturing that. Once I have a larger retail stock, I will hold pop-up shopping events in local businesses that I've networked in the community. And by 2028, I plan to have a retail location in Medford that's also expanding the laundry facility that I currently have. And by then, you won't just see my little white van bopping around town, you will see my fleet of gorgeous vans. So I have so much gratitude for this community and for all of you here today. I cannot thank everyone enough for taking the time to support. And I realized when I was writing this, you know how when you're talking about your business, we just fall into the default of saying we or us? That's because that's what it is. It might be my business, it might be my dream, but the impact is for everyone. And the support that I have received just by sharing what I'm passionate about is the reason why I'm continuing to go and go forward and try new things and be scared. So really thank you, and this is for us.
Wow. All right, I'm sure we have tons of questions. I'm going to kick off one. Blueberry June, where did that name come from? I feel like there's got to be a story.
Oh my goodness. So I love that question because I definitely get it a lot. And similar to my oldest daughter, whose name is Savara, people will say, how did you come up with her name? And I'm like, I just thought of it. So I did kind of just think of it. Back when I was in my early teens, I loved to sew, and I saw myself having a children's clothing line and doing a vintage brand. And so Blueberry June was the name that kind of formed when I was conceptualizing that business. And yeah, once I dreamt this into existence, it was just like the name was the first thing. Getting that website was the first thing.
You should hold a contest. The first person to name their baby Blueberry June gets free diapers.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. That's a great idea.
Because I think it's a great name.
Yes, definitely. I mean, maybe I feel like Elon Musk would go for that or something. So, yeah.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, great presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
So, just briefly, what is the process from when somebody first calls you on the phone to the picking up their first batch of diapers to go back and launder? What is the whole process there?
Certainly. So essentially, one of the things that I was really excited about when I was branding my business and getting this off the ground was kind of figuring out those systems and the points of contact. So most often people reach out to me via email from my website or from Google. So I do have templated emails to kind of walk them through that process. Also reaching out by phone. But essentially I do a quick phone consult with them and get a little more information on where they're located, size and weight of baby, and what my services offer, just answering any questions. Then I send them documents via email, contract and everything. They actually enroll on my website and prepay for the first week, which secures my demo appointment. Then I do a complimentary demo appointment, and I bring their first bundle of diapers, and I do a little demonstration on how to use them, and again, answering any questions that they might have, and I leave the bundle there. So for expecting families, it can be maybe 1 to 4 weeks before they're actually using the diapers. They're there before their baby is born. And then for other families who call me after their baby's there, we just schedule the pickup for the following week. And then, yeah, I pick up the diapers weekly in different cities, have specific days, and then deliver their clean bundle to their door. Thank you.
I have a question. Right here.
Hi. The lights.
I'm curious if you're connected with the Pregnancy Care Center or any other local places that service or serve pregnant women or people in that.
Thank you. That's in Grants Pass, correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I don't spend as much time in Grants Pass, and I only recently was made aware of that facility. Have not personally connected there yet, but I have worked on networking, and my other classes that I teach are in a midwife's facility in Ashland, in a lactation center in Central Point. So I am looking for connections in this area as well. And it's been, like I said, just so rewarding to connect with others in that way.
Yeah, our pregnancy care center here would be a phenomenal. I mean, their outreach is huge in this community, all up and down the valley. So it would be ginormous. So you said that you don't spend a lot of time in Grants Pass. So do you primarily just focus on those ends, and you're going to come to this side, or I mean, is that financially viable for you to be down here?
Yes, so I do have clients in Grants Pass. Sorry, to clarify, I just meant I'm not as familiar with the other local businesses to connect with yet. But I come to Grants Pass every Friday, but just for deliveries. So yes, looking for connections in this area for sure. Thank you.
I don't want to monopolize, but coming from somebody who used cloth diapers we're talking 35 years ago, and at the time everybody's like, I don't want to deal with the pins and the things. So can you share with everybody the innovations that have come with that, with the wraps and the ways to diaper that are not stabbing your baby?
Yes, certainly. I'm glad you asked. And actually, I've seen it all. So my oldest is 16 and my youngest will be 2 in November, and I've cloth diapered all 4 of my kids, and I've seen every single style. I think that one of the things, it's a blessing and a curse, right? There has been a lot of innovation and there has been new products on the market, but because of that, it's easy to kind of attach to one that might not even fit your lifestyle. So a family gets gifted, 40 diapers, and they try them, and they're not a style that's going to actually work for how they need to use their diapers, then they just give up and say, oh, cloth didn't work for us. So it's kind of one of those things of too much choice at this point. But essentially, right now, there are diapers that you can, let's see. So cloth diapers are 2 parts, right? They're the absorbent material and then the waterproof material. And then in terms of how they're built, there are some where you just fold the absorbent part and put it inside a pocket of the diaper cover, and then it attaches with snaps. So it's all in one piece, and there's nothing that you have to secure on the baby other than snapping it around their waist. And then if you do prefer the more traditional like wrap style, and there's a bunch of different styles to wrap and tie. There are some rubber fasteners and things like that. Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen the pins and definitely have not used the pins. We're grateful that one's kind of gone by the wayside.
Yeah, the way back was the Velcro, where you just put it in and just Velcroed them, wrapped them up and Velcroed them in and called it a day. It made it so easy.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Duct tape works perfect, Kat.
Yes.
Love that.
Duct tape, plastic bag, whatever works.
We've all been there. More questions? All right, so what can this fantastically fabulous community do for you?
I'm so glad you asked. So there we are. My question is, just any tips, resources, or suggestions for manufacturing the wool cover, how to build a small retail inventory that is successful and diverse, advice on bigger picture projects and how to get there in terms of the shop, laundry, and fleet. And then bonus question, what was the best advice you received as a business owner or entrepreneur?
I actually have a question that I forgot. I just thought of it, and it had to do with a lady that I know in the community that works with an international group that does a program called Days for Girls, which is specifically for the menstrual cycle, but it's the same process of using reusable cloth, and they actually have a whole team of women that come together and sew and do these things. Wow. Do you have in your experience have anybody that's coming forward to actually help you make cloth diapers, or do any of the covering piece that's more piecework, or are you looking for a larger manufacturing type scenario?
Oh, thank you. That's right, the reminder to be specific. I think it's the piece of just how to get started. I do have some resources connecting with an Ashland business that has offered support in some of their sewing team and supplies and whatnot. But essentially just for anyone who's gone through that process, what does that look like to have, I have my prototype in my hand, and then what is the next piece of getting it out there? And yeah. Thank you.
All right.
I think you said wool and diaper and cover in the same thing, but my brain can't wrap that around.
Yes, correct. So that is the waterproof part of the diaper. So right now, a lot of diaper covers are made out of polyurethane coated fabric, which of course is fine and it's durable, but it's still a plastic-based product. And wool is just amazing because it is actually naturally antimicrobial, and then it requires fewer on hand. You can use them more multiple times without fully needing washing because of the water resistance just naturally. And then it just fits in my mission and my heart of really getting away from plastic-based products.
I may have a connection for you. I just texted a gentleman that makes wool socks in
thank
Utah.
you.
Thank you. So I just asked him if that would be something, but maybe conceptually, maybe we can share and collaborate and get the two of you connected. Cool. But I think I've got a referral for you.
Thank you.
I don't have any experience with manufacturing, but I recall a conversation once with a Rotary Club that was in Mexico. I'm in a Rotary Club up here, and they were outfitting women in the village with sewing machines and finding products for them to make to ship back up here. And so that may be an avenue for more scale when you get there, and maybe still sounds like it's friendly to the world kind of thing, helping the small villages like that or something, but that may be an avenue to explore.
I really love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that connection.
So as far as some of the best advice I've ever received, two things. One, when you go into a conversation, before you go into that conversation, think how you want that person to walk away feeling, right? So you're going to change the way that you speak to somebody if you start that way. Secondly is get a mentor or a coach and surround yourself with some peers who have your best in mind.
Thank you. That's wonderful. I appreciate that. I guess I will have to watch this recording then now. Ugh.
Great job, Shayna. So I definitely think education is going to be the foundation of your growth, because I think a lot of people just simply don't know about cloth diapering or how simple it can be. So hitting more educational opportunities like whenever you can, and kind of quantifying it, maybe even making a target of like one educational opportunity every single week. It's going to get the brand out there more, and it'll get more people interested in the service. So you're just planting all of those seeds when that time comes. By the time you get enough of a client base, then you can start diversifying into that fleet, which I love the idea of doing that. And so there's so many babies being born, so much
many
opportunity.
babies.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so true. Yeah, it echoes what does happen, because I see that movement when I'm really sharing and giving detail, even to things that I feel are second nature at this point. And so then, yeah, that's a really good reminder. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. Right. Thank you.
So I guess we took the microphone away from the people actually talking for a minute. So doing wool diaper covers, in my mind, is sort of an expansion or a going into another related direction, right, for you? And it's actually really appealing, I think, because your existing business is great and could be a huge success, but it's going to be really hard to scale that to other regions unless you start thinking about franchising and stuff like that. But if you develop products that then you're using, then you can have a global audience. So I would continue to lean into that diaper cover idea, and also encourage you to think of other materials that you could be using besides wool that might make your product stand out and be unique. There are, for example, there's papers that have been developed that are waterproof that some people are using in their products now. There's alpaca farms around here that have, and alpaca fiber is sort of the most amazing fiber on the planet. There's a spin out from Nike that is developing a sewable cloth made out of banana plants. The banana plants grow 10 feet tall. They pick the bananas, they slash the whole plant down to the ground every year, and usually just burn all the slash. But these guys are taking the fiber from the banana stalk itself, which turns out to be great. So there's a lot of different things you can do. So you might want to talk to, before you go full force down a particular path with wool, you might talk to somebody who's a textile expert, and maybe even has some statewide or even greater than statewide experience in manufacturing and choosing those, just in case you hit upon something that you can start selling all over the place. So.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I hadn't thought of the other materials
Thought we were
creatively. So
Everybody's
thank you.
got questions.
Yes.
This isn't a question, but if you could put your QR code back up. If you scan the QR code, you can get her, and you can like share your info with her, and then you get her entire contact info about her business, and you save it as a contact. So for everyone that gave her feedback, text her just to make her entrepreneurial life easier, please.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I always forget that because I did that really early on with my QR codes, because just taking them to one place, or one outlet, I was missing the opportunity of capturing people's information and them having mine directly.
Thank you so much for being such a good example of a presenter, and of what we're trying to accomplish here. I think that you have some really good like best practices that everybody would do well to pay attention to, the QR code being one of them, so that people can contact you quickly and easily. And your already thought out questions for us, what you wanted advice on specifically, was fantastic that you took the time to do that and included at the end. I loved that. I think everybody should do that. I think that's the point of being here. It really helps us understand how we can help each other. Awesome job.
Oh, thank you. I did have some good coaches in my sidelines to help support the preparation, so I appreciate it. And if anyone does want to see my recycling slideshow after this, hint, hint.
Hello, Lisa. Great advice. I love that. I want Lisa to say that again to my face. I want you to tell me that, sweetie, after the meeting. I love what you said. My advice for you, because you did ask for advice, is never give up.
That's like easier said than done though, right? Like when you have like 1 million kids, other jobs, and you're like, oh, this is hard today. I have to like talk about what I'm doing and then I have to do it.
If there's a million kids, you must have a million cups of coffee as well.
Yes, half drunk cups that are cold, yes.
And I think for me, it was just, as friends would say, pivot. Just don't be afraid to pivot. If you're in it, I mean, we have a tendency to have like a solid idea of where we need to go and what we need to do, and to pivot otherwise and allow yourself that grace to do so is huge. All right, thank you so much.
Thank
what an
you.
amazing
Thanks,
presentation.
everyone.
Appreciate you.
Shayna, everybody, thank you so much. Really, I agree. It was an incredible presentation. You present so well. Fortunately, my kids have been done with that. That is quite an experience. And I will say that we did do the cloth diaper for quite a while, and it was a difficult situation. So yeah, I love, yes, y'all know what I'm talking about. And why stop with kids? I mean, we're gonna all need diapers again at some point, right? So, I mean, it depends. So, womp, womp, womp. And that's all I got for you folks today. Thank you very much. Yes, big hand for Shayna. Thank you so much. And thank you all for coming today. We appreciate the participation. We appreciate the sage advice. And we really need that here every week. So even if you're not presenting, please keep coming back and offering the sage advice, asking the great questions. And it's just incredibly, was it helpful? And it's been recorded, so you get to go back, and it's on YouTube. You can go watch it. Yeah, or don't, and listen to yourself and cringe a little bit, but yeah. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week, 9:30 to 10:30. Thank you all. Have a great week. See you next week. Actually, one more last thing. Steve had one more big ask.
Sorry, I forgot this. I'm looking for a local lamp stack.
Real quick, everybody, one more, your attention to the stage.